Greetings, salutations. There was a video that came across my feed, and the video was called Most Men Don't Have Options. And it was a lady whose name I forgot. Hopefully, if I find the video, I'll put the link of her video into the description box because I forgot her name. But she was talking about that men don't have options when it comes to dating and so forth. And there are many factors um, behind this. So this is the reason why I'm gonna make this response video. The factors I vehemently um, suggest. Over time we have people who comes on online and makes the most idiotic, um, repugnant statements, blaming everything except for um, themselves. It's not the welfare program. It's not no fault divorce. It is something bigger and also something smaller. As somebody who read books like War on Boys by Susan Hoff Summers, The Manipulated Man by Esther Vilar, those of us who went into the red pill rabbit hole. The reason why men don't have options is because boys has not grown up. Since 1945, men, excuse me, I'm sorry, women rather, since 1945, women in the Western world, in the industrialized world, achieve a lot from being thought of second class citizens to CEOs and business owners and so forth, generals and admirals in the United States Navy, a vice president of the United States, uh, and so forth. Women from 1945 up till today, 2025, in those 80 years, and yes, you will go to World War One, well, 90, 100 years, women have achieved a lot because they are drinking out of the cup of freedom. Men, however, did not change. Men did not change because of um, the ideas of capitalism and patriarchy. Capitalism and patriarchy are what we conceive as patriarchy. We refuse to look at things from we refuse to evolve. Men who are in the bottom 80%, refuse to evolve. They do not garner women's attention initially. Men who usually get women's attention, he has to get that attention through the means of showcasing his talents. Rightly or wrongly, he has to showcase himself. And because there is an education gap between boys and girls, it's affecting how men and women are functioning today. Boys are taught, uh, are educated and socialized a certain way. We think that, you know, action and being active in our and how we are taught in school. Girls, on the other hand, is taught to analyze or to memorize certain things. And because of this, because of the 1970s and because of because of girls moving up in the world, the education system decided to be more geared towards girls because girls are second class citizens, women are second class citizens, so they're trying to give a leg up, and young boys are left behind. And because of patriarchy and capitalism and yes, hypergamy, the bottom 80% of men, you have to excuse me, the bottom 80% of men are having a hard time finding a mate, or they have to broadcast themselves. And then now today, with the advent of social media and the red pill explosion that happened in the last 20 years, um, I'm gonna get more into that on another video about the red pill explosion and why now it's now starting to backfire. But the red pill community created monsters and with this belief of America or the Western world is sliding into a matriarchy. That's further from the truth at this point. Further from the truth. Because of the power structure benefits the uh, top 10% of men. Not the top 10% of women. Women, the top 10% of women are the byproduct of men. You know, the issue, our society is gearing towards in even egalitarian society, not a matriarchy, not a gynocracy, none of those lame excuses that you hear online. We head into a even egalitarian society where it's more, let's say, more equal. But at the same time, as we're slowly and surely getting there, it's going to take another generation or two to for that to finally set in, or regeneration, I should say, if you ask me. But what does that do about us being lonely, us not having options? Well, because of the advent of, you know, of the atom bomb, of the ability to split the atom, I should say. When men had split the atom, a lot of the, it replaced certain things. Back in the old days, it would take you 200, 300, possibly 500 men digging into the ground, mining coal to power up a city or two. Now it takes a handful of men, of humans, 16 men at least, to work at a shift at a power plant, at a nuclear power plant. Technicians rather than technicians in white coats, rather than men wearing 500 men wearing overalls and a helmet with smut on their face, which also freed women. That freed a lot of women and to be a more leisurely role because of the appliances, because of the washing machine, the refrigerator, the automobile, the technological advancements that we have from well from the early part of the 20th century till today. Women were freed, unshackled from domestic duties. She was shackled from the house. She has more free time to do whatever uh, to help maintain that house. Also at the same time, have to understand that because of that, women start to dream. Women start to open up their possibilities because no longer her life is no longer her life is dependent upon what a man does. Her life is no longer dependent upon the only goal in life of adulthood is getting married and squeezing out children, giving birth to children. That goal can be put to the side, or that goal can be eliminated because you're expanding her self-worth. But men, on the other hand, men and boys, we still stuck on the mind frame of patriarchy. We're still stuck on capitalism. And because of all that, there's no sense of community among men. Women are forced, once married, women are forced to deal with, to commune with her husband's family, and very rarely connect with the women outside of that community. Now, because of because of the changing times of technology and education and so forth, um, men don't have the sense of community because our churches, our institutions, our churches, our schools do not overlook men's plight, overlook boys' plight. Um, since 1970, between the years of 1978 and 1972, education, prime example, education was equal between men and women. It took a nosedive in 1984 and 85 when it comes to men. When it comes to college, post high school education. And part of that is because part of this is because there is no sense of community across the board in American society. Thus, the reason why we don't have no options to travel because of the high prices of taxes, um, goods, and services. Many of us do not have the ability or the upward mobility to move around, and thus is part of the reason why we do not have many options when it comes to employment or when it comes to marriage or to raise a family. Anyway, I'll see you on the other side. Big J out. This will be continued.